KMWSU.TV.
Alright, here we go. Yeah. Getting on up. Ugh. Spent the first years biting my tongue. Now I'm older, wiser, looking for fun. Can't hold it in, won't hide this under bushel, no. Gonna let my crazy shine. He's gonna let his crazy shine. He's gonna let his crazy shine. Enough conversation, let the good times roll. Start up and up with that bass and light up and let your shit go. Give me a reason to drink, and I'll give you one drunk motherfucker. Hell yeah! I got with this shit, if I can do know what I got there with this shit, I never gonna get in a fire. Hell is coming for us, or are we just walking towards it? Drag me on in if I offer a fight. Take a mind if you want a word in. We fucked up.
All right.
Hey!
Oh, now can you hear it? Now you can hear
There
it.
we go.
Oh, hey.
Surprise! We made a mistake
Yeah.
again.
We did things the professional way, and now
God.
you're here to listen to us talk and stuff. Welcome to episode 19 of Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
Hi.
You guys good?
Hi.
Yeah.
All right. I hope you're driving in your car right now. You're really confused with what's going on.
What are we changing this fucking thing to?
What? No. We'll keep it the
Tekken
same.
and,
No. We'll
no.
keep it the same. Keep it the same. Keep it the same. What was it? Tekken and Chowder?
Tekken and Chowder.
Tekken and Chowder.
and
That was the
Chowder.
thought
Alright.
for a second there. No, just do it. We're going to keep it just do it.
Okay.
Episode 19, just do it.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you just do it?
Exactly.
I don't know why you wouldn't just do it.
I don't know.
I just do things all the time. And then a lot of the times I also don't do them. Don't do it is not as popular of a theme.
But
like
do
a
you support
slogan.
both sayings equally?
I do. I support doing things and not doing things.
Okay, cool.
You know, it's the time
Well, as
and a
long as
place.
you're on track with that. That's
Hey,
cool.
I try to keep on track with my doing and not doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, joining me here, as always, you've already heard him speak, Mr. Justin Olimpedo.
Hello.
And, as always, Mr. Zachary.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Yeah? Stormin'. All right.
So I was
Yeah.
reading. Sorry.
He was reading. He does that sometimes. He reads.
I learned how when I was
A child?
18 or 19.
18 or
From a
19-year-old
book.
child
Yeah.
from a book.
He used to
From a
be a
YouTube
children.
video.
He used to be one of them childrens. Now, joining us this week, we have a very special guest in the house. Two
Hey.
special guests, technically. Our actual main guest tonight is Mr. Mikey Martino.
Hi there.
What's up, dude?
I had to re-edit a picture that I posted earlier because I did a big live with Mr. Mikey Compton thing. And
How
was
did
like,
you really?
I was like, I gotta go in and re-edit that because I made it Mr. Mikey Compton.
Every time someone says that, I always feel like Obi-Wan being like, I
Yeah.
haven't heard that name.
I haven't heard that name. See, I brought it back. My MySpace.
The high ground!
A year and a half ago or whatever. I was like, that's gonna be my Facebook name now, and I just went and dove back into it.
Anakin?
And I tried to get no, my dumb MySpace name from back in the day. I made it my Facebook name, and I tried to get a whole table of people to agree with
No, I
me.
know. I thought Kyle.
Oh, I was saying I
naming
trained.
his-
Yeah. No, my name
I
was
got lost
never
there, 'cause
Anakin.
that was the last thing you said.
He
so.
got lost. You got lost.
Oh, okay.
Now you hear
Previously
getting
on
Justin lost in the background. There is Mr. Richard Blackmore.
Hello.
He's here. He's here.
Yeah.
He's gonna be chiming in whenever he wants to. You've listened to the show. You know how the fuck it works. You're not tuning in for episode 19, number 1. Like that's not the first time you're listening. And if it is, what
Episode
the hell?
19, number 1.
Number 1.
I've never actually listened to any of them.
That's good. That's good. That's my.
And I ain't listening now.
You ain't gonna listen to shit.
It's like a theme we have. The guests come on, they're like, "Oh,
What do you
episode
do?
19? I haven't listened to any of this
Whoa,
garbage."
this is crazy. You guys have a show. It's available for people to listen to, and we're
On
building
iTunes and Stitcher.
we're building
Yeah.
our audience by having guests. That's my mentality.
much.
Every guest I have on is now a listener.
Now listen.
And you go, oh, I was on that, and then you want to go, yo, man, I was on this podcast. You can check it out. You can check out this podcast. It's
Yeah,
on,
I'll probably check out the episode.
it's on iTunes
Yeah.
and Stitcher. You'll tell some people about it. You'll share it on the social medias. You'll share it on the medias.
Yeah,
Oh,
out there.
Yeah.
now it's summer's coming to a close. Yet it's fucking
Is it, man?
terrible as shit. You think we're gonna Indian summer this year? And is that phrase still okay? Because this is a conversation I had. Is it okay to call it an Indian summer? And do you
What
think
is
we're
the
going
actual
to have
term of an Indian summer?
Indian summer means it just stays like warmer into like October, but Indian
I
is a
mean-
misnomer, bro.
Yeah, I get that, but
I mean, are you gonna stop calling
Like-
it Indian rug burn?
I don't call it an
Yeah.
Indian rug burn.
You know why it's
What do you
called
call
that,
it? I
though?
just call
That's
it an
not
Indian
in
burn.
reference to Native Americans.
Yeah,
That's in reference to India.
India.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's how
Yeah,
they give a burn.
actually, I looked this up.
You did?
Me and I had a long conversation with somebody about this. We had to like figure it out. So back in like Victorian era,
Okay.
India was such like an exotic place. I mean, it's still an exotic place to us,
Yes.
but like to the Western world, that they just called lots of stuff Indian
Okay.
okay.
because it was something strange, and it made it seem like
So
this stupid thing where I
yeah.
give your arm a burn is from some faraway land, and it's
Gotcha.
like some crazy new concept you never
Some
heard
dickhead just wanted to make his cruel trick cool sounding.
of. Yeah, and
pretty
it,
much.
Okay.
Like
All
it
right.
hurts,
worked
don't it?
for
hurts.
Indian burn.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had a Hertz donut before.
Yeah, I've had quite a
They
few.
hurts.
Yeah.
They hurts.
I had like 9 donuts the other day.
9 donuts. Well, my
Jesus Christ!
My
dude.
girlfriend did
I did.
this is a
Richard saw me.
donut commitment here. My girlfriend on
Commitment?
Sunday.
I survived.
My girlfriend Alyssa on Sunday drove 4 hours to Rhode Island.
Right.
That was Richard. To,
Richard with the assist.
Oh yeah. To go to this, I forget the name of the donut shop, and if she tunes in and she wants to say it, she can remind me. But she went to this donut shop that makes like the most absurd gourmet style donuts, and they're a cake. Each of them is a cake. It's about a pound of a donut, but they're a little bit bigger than a regular donut would be. And she
Right.
got Dunkaroos donuts, brought those home. One of them's a Swiss roll donut, and then the best one that I had was
Now I
like
just
a
want some
maple
donuts,
bacon
dude.
donut.
I really
Carl's
want
Jr.
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. makes Fruit Loop donuts right now.
She actually
And I
brought
just saw the
back.
commercial. And it
She
was so
brought
good.
back 2 donuts that were Fruity Pebble donuts, and the batter itself was made with cereal milk,
That's
where they
the best.
soak the milk in cereal, or soak the cereal in the milk, strain out the milk, and then they make the donut with that milk.
My God.
And then they coat it with the cereal as well.
I'm just throwing this out
It
there.
is the
God,
it
man.
is worth
I
a
wanna,
9-hour round trip on a Sunday that you have
No,
off to
fuck
grab
that.
this
If anybody
donut.
wants
Yeah.
to
Where's that at?
open up a donut
It's in
shop,
Rhode Island.
let me know. I've
Yeah,
been
if you
wanting
want to
to
open
do
up a
it for a
donut shop,
while.
we can do that here, man.
Yeah.
We can do that here.
Somebody supply some
We
money
don't
so
have
we
a
can
good
do
donut.
that.
Mr. Donut went out in like '95, right? And that was like the last thing. The
Yeah,
market
dude.
is available. We
You
don't
steal
even
my
have a
idea,
Krispy
fucking-
Kremes around here.
Nah, too bad. Too late.
We're
Too late. I already
patenting.
took out a
Yo,
back
We
load.
are taking a
fuck you,
patent
man.
out on
Small
the
business
idea of
owner.
a local donut shop. No one else can take that.
Do not take
you
that.
heard
Gonna
it
make
here
it a
first.
fucking donuts.
If you open it up, you owe us free donuts for life.
Time to
If
make
you
a
do it
donut.
before we can do it. Or just hire us and we'll work for you.
Time to make a
that'll
donut.
work too, man.
So, in addition to the donut thing that happened this weekend, lately I've been spending a lot of time or watching two TV shows. One I've watched most of my life, and it's South Park. I just haven't watched it in
Yeah.
a while, and
I
I
don't like
started
that
going
show.
back. You don't like it?
Hate it.
Not a fan?
No, I don't hate it. I just I don't care for it.
I went back and we started watching from like the first season. Just put it on as like the show. We'll watch like Adventure Time a lot. Like when we're just like
I like
falling
Adventure
asleep.
Time. Yeah.
And then we put that on when we know the kid isn't around, because it's like Adventure Time is a cartoon for adults that kids can still watch. It's a Cartoon Network show. South Park, you don't want a child anywhere near that
South Park,
shit.
I feel like I watched when I was a kid because it was like more taboo.
Yeah.
Than what I wanted.
It is
genius
actually,
to me.
I agree with you, Kyle.
Being so topical, it is, and then it's fun to watch back.
Like a genius show. I'm not. I mean, you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't even be able to say, hey, it is or it isn't. Because I haven't watched it.
You haven't
really
watched
in
it
so long.
I think you should watch some of it.
We watched an
check out
episode from like season like 13 or 14.
I think the
15,
last thing I ever
there.
saw was Chin Pokemon or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
Or the World of Warcraft episode.
The World of Warcraft.
That's how far back I am.
You never saw like?
Did
you ever see Imagination Land? Like the 3-part. See, that's where it started changing for me.
Yeah,
going
dude,
back to being a brilliant show. I mean, it never really dropped off. It just I stopped watching for a while. But we started watching that a lot, and it's weird because the other show kind of like one of my favorite words to have a little bit of juxtaposition in our lives. We've been watching the Golden Girls a lot lately.
I actually love that show.
It is one of the greatest, and it was so ahead of its time. And we were watching an episode the other day where Blanche's brother comes into town, and he went through a phase where he was dating a man, and he comes back, and there's a taxi driver, and she goes to like tip him or something like that, and it's like, no, this is my fiance, we're getting married. And it was very ahead of its time in like addressing that, because the show was on from 85 to 92. Like it's a 30-year-old show, which just everybody's dead but Betty White. Betty White's a 92, 93-year-old woman now. Everybody else is dead.
85 to 92?
Yeah. It's crazy to think that it's that long ago. But I haven't really watched it since I was younger, and like it was just on in a lot of places. You know, you go to a doctor's office, it's Golden Girls just playing on reruns. And watching it now, it was very progressive. There's like a fat shaming episode even where also again Blanche, her daughter shows up and she's like, oh, my daughter's a beautiful young lady. Oh, she's just a spitting image of her mother. And she shows up and she's just fat. It's just a hefty, like she's not fat by today's standards, but 1988.
Yeah.
She'd be a big girl now, but she's like, looks like way bigger, and she's in a shitty abusive, like verbal abusive relationship. And I got really, into watching it lately. But last night I got home. Alyssa had fallen asleep. I was working till like 2:30, and I walk in and I saw like the most dramatic 3 minutes ever of a Golden Girls episode, and it's where apparently Phil, who I don't think you ever meet on the show, who is Dorothy's brother and Ma, Josephine's son, dies, and his wife shows up, and right before I walked in, they must have had this huge reveal that he was a cross-dresser on the side, and Ma's like losing her shit about it. And I walk in, and I'm like getting undressed, like about to get in bed, and I'm like, Golden Girls is on. It's always a feel-good time show. It's been a long night. Let's just relax and watch some Golden Girls. And it's just Ma sitting there just going, he was my son. He was my son. Like, and she's just like all dramatic. And then Rose stands up and she's just like, well, let me
He's
ask
like, I'm
you.
not relaxed at all.
Yeah. to the wife, she goes, was he a good husband? Was he a good father to your children? Was all these things? Like, was he all these things? And she's just like, yeah, he was. And she's like, well, there you go. He was a good man. Like, no matter what, you learn he was good. And then Josephine, Ma just goes, and this is the last line of the episode, and I'm sitting there with my eyes wide open, my jaw down, like, what the hell did I just walk into? And she's like, my little boy is dead. And I'm just like, fuck. And then the next episode is a lighthearted romp of an episode.
Wait, I think you said he's dead because he's a cross-dresser?
No. He was a cross-dresser, and that came out after he died to his mother.
Oh.
Yeah, his wife, like, opened it up. But that show, it's a brilliantly fun show. I think it's a setup that you could really easily redo, and they did the Ghostbusters with women,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that actually. It's really funny.
I know there's a. I think
I
there's
just
a
watched it
podcast.
like last week.
What did you think of it, dude?
I think there's a podcast
I thought it was
called The Golden Guys.
ass.
I
There was
didn't
a couple
watch
good
it.
scenes. There was definitely a couple couple good bits.
the Ghostbusters.
Answer the call.
I haven't watched it yet.
Don't. It's
not interested really.
Yeah.
Not because it's women, just because I already.
It has nothing to do with the women. Honestly, I just don't.
I honestly like all of them individually and what they've done. Like all of them are bringing something to the table.
I guess not really though.
But
not in that movie.
Not in that movie. I don't know, but that was my assumption right off the bat.
Well, was it still written by Aykroyd?
I don't
know.
Think
it was
written directed by Paul Feig.
Feig. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I don't know, because like they all make cameos in it, except for Harold Ramis, obviously.
Bill Murray's in it.
Yeah, Bill Murray, and Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson.
Really?
And Annie Potts, and
Ernie Hudson isn't by any way just like written in as like the father of the. Is it
uncle?
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of course.
Wow. There's no way she was black and in this naturally.
Token man.
Oh and, my god.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
The whole movie was bad, dude. But Michael McDonald from Mad TV was in it. He's in it for like a short stint.
Okay, he's
literally
fun.
He stole the whole movie from me. It was just he's in it for like 2 minutes and he killed it.
You don't recommend watching it though?
No, I would never.
Again.
No.
Okay, CGI wise, was that more annoying than the storyline, or was it okay?
The CGI was good. Chris Hemsworth. He's pretty funny in it.
Okay.
He's definitely really funny in it. He's probably one of the biggest redeeming factors. But no, overall, it's just like they tried too hard to make it feel like a Ghostbusters movie.
Okay.
And it just wasn't.
Like going after the 4 individual stereotypes so hard.
Yeah, it's
like
almost,
is Melissa McCarthy? I'm assuming she is supposed to be Bill Murray.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like the rogue scientist.
Yeah, the one that's a smart ass, quick mouth. And then Ramis is Kate McKinnon's character.
No, Ramis is Kristen Wiig's character.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And oddly enough, in the
Kate
office
McKinnon's
building,
in it though, right?
She's
the other one. So she's Aykroyd.
Yeah, she's Aykroyd.
She produced some vodka in that movie.
No.
Okay.
I will say this: Melissa McCarthy, I don't normally like, but I am excited for a new movie.
You know what?
Just because of the shock factor.
The Habitat Murders. Yeah. I'm excited for that. Honestly, I like most things. I'm a Gilmore Girls guy. I love the Gilmore Girls, and she was on that, and she's just a good comedic actress. And I never watched Mike and Molly. Really, I never watched that. I felt it'd be patronizing.
Did you watch Tammy?
Person to watch that. I did watch Tammy.
That is such a fucking depressing movie.
It's a dark comedy done really well. Bateman's amazing. Yeah. I mean, he's great. And the two of them play off each other because she's just an obnoxious fucking woman and he's just an annoyed asshole. Like, I think that's a good dynamic. It's almost in the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles style.
Sort of.
It's a guy that's just driving you fucking nuts and you're just trying to be, straight-laced and everything. But before we get into like the full bulk of the episode, what do you? This is something I wanted to ask you specifically. What are you watching right now? Like, what are you streaming? What is so big?
Much,
what's on your horizons for the near future, even?
Well, I actually watch a lot of anime.
Okay.
But that being said,
anime porn.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Definitely.
Oh wait, never mind. Let me rephrase what I just said. I do.
Nani? What?
I do. Well, you said anime porn. I do.
Yeah.
Anime, no, not so much. It's not as much fucking.
Just
in it, I
lots of tentacles.
Fucking.
In terms of
thank you.
Streaming shows and stuff. I mean, I watch a lot of stuff though. Like I just Preacher season 3 just finished.
Okay.
AMC, so good.
I will say you got me into Castle Rock, dude.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah, have you checked out? They keep telling me about Castle Rock.
Yeah, you got me into Castle Rock. Just from talking about it.
Yeah. Richard even just got into Castle Rock. Yeah.
It's fucking good, man.
It's right now the first season takes place in the Shawshank Redemption universe.
Okay.
And literally like the whole setting is Shawshank. And like
really?
Yeah, Shawshank and the town of Castle Rock, obviously.
But they are including Sarsgaard and
he's not Pennywise.
Okay.
He's another character.
Is he a guard or something?
No, he's
like
some weird anomaly sort of character.
Okay.
But
it's worth watching.
John Locke from
Lost
is the warden in the first episode.
Oh.
Warden in the first episode. But when they go through the picture, like in The Office, when you look through the pictures of the previous wardens, you see the warden from the movie that blows his brains out. And so it definitely like takes place in the movie universe.
It's still in that
stuff.
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's modern times.
Dude, it's got everybody in it though. Scott Glenn, Sissy Spacek.
Yeah, well, that's what, is she still playing? Is she just old Carrie?
No, not in that.
So is anybody
She's not
playing?
Carrie. I didn't even think about that though. Holy
is
crap.
anybody playing their characters?
No.
He's just doing a big universe collision with the same actors.
Pretty much, yeah. Because Scott Glenn plays Sheriff Pangborn, who is Ed Harris's character in Needful Things.
Okay.
And
okay.
What do you call it? But like all that stuff is all canon. Like all those movies and all that stuff is all canon. The Shining's
Are
canon.
they going to, in any way, going to somehow find a way to lock into Dark Tower? Do you think on this show?
I think he is trying to incorporate as much.
As much as possible, because it is going to be part of it.
Okay. Stand By Me, anything like that?
Stand By Me is definitely part of it.
Okay. Because it's all taking place in a small main town,
yeah.
Right?
There's some kid named Jordy. They talk about
be...
some kid named Jordy's birthday, and that's clearly Jordy.
Yeah.
So they're doing kind of what Kevin Smith did when he created his Jersey universe in the first
Viewers universe or whatever.
The Viewers universe, where he had like you would talk about a girl drowning in a fucking pool. Yeah. And you'd be like, okay, like that was from Clerks, and then they mentioned it again in Mallrats. Okay. Yeah. So they're just lumping it all in. So that's a collision of a universe. So which brings me to another thing I wanted to talk to you about. MCEU, right? The Marvel Cinematic Extended Universe.
No, it's DCEU. And then
MCU and DCEU, the DC Extended Universe. Okay, there we go. Yeah. The MCU, that. After the next Infinity War 2, whatever they're going to call this upcoming movie, it's very clear that they're going to be, most likely they're going to be absorbing Fox, which is going to give them X-Men, it's going to give them Fantastic Four back, it's going to give them the rights to pretty much do everything.
Yep.
Silver Surfer, for
oh, hell
sure.
Yeah, dude. I'd love to see an actual good Fantastic Four movie.
They've already discussed the possibility,
I would.
And by they, I mean people in the, the blogosphere, or whatever the fuck we call it in 2018, are talking about, bringing in the X-Men characters in the next movie. They're still filming it. There's talks of Wolverine would be the easiest one to bring in and have him fight Hulk and introduce him into that way.
Yeah, Kevin Feige keeps that stuff super under wraps. And I feel like it's one of.
Do you think in the next movie we're gonna see anybody, if they absorb into Fox, like if all that happens before that comes out?
I don't think so.
You think Four is set?
It's
way too early.
Four is set.
Yeah.
Now,
they can go into comic book spin-offs. There was a Wolverine, Hulk. There were certain stories that they could use. Wolverine, Spider-Man, very easily.
Yeah. Well, my big thing. Okay, after whatever we're calling this, the next Infinity Wars 2, the next Avengers.
Right.
They're going to have certain characters' contracts are up, like certain actors. Contracts are up. They're talking about a younger Iron Man, all these different possibilities. With the Thanos storyline and being able to adjust timelines and everything, it's easy to end for setting up, bringing them in, kind of how they always kind of set up the next stage at the end.
Well, yeah, with the Infinity Gauntlet, he could just rewrite everything.
Yeah, you can rewrite everything, and all of a sudden you just incorporate all those characters in.
It's the biggest, most acceptable MacGuffin of any movie ever made.
Just a quick
Mikey, I have a question
of all of it.
I do have a question for you about the Infinity War. Do you think that it's do you think it switched the moment that Doctor Strange came back and said that when they asked him the odds?
Yeah.
Do you think it's just in Thanos' head the whole time type of thing?
What do you mean?
Do you think what we saw is Thanos'
we're just in
version?
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
No, I think what happened was he saw all these ways of being able to save the universe because he saw over 1 million ways or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, but only one actually worked.
And then only one of it actually worked, and in that way, those people had to go.
Okay.
That
but
makes sense,
the thing is whoever ends up being able to wield that Infinity Gauntlet, which I have a feeling is probably going to end up being Captain America.
Okay.
Because he's
Do you think that kills him?
Yeah, true.
I think so.
Do you think that's
I think so.
The power's
too much power.
Too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way too much power, but he's Captain America,
and he does
just
it for
do
the team.
Correct.
And he
yeah.
takes the bullet.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Chris Evans is gone.
Oh God! I mean, the last movie, it just kind of seems like he showed up and was like, "I got a beard now."
Yeah, Chris
Fuck you.
Chris Hemsworth, I think, out of all of them, Chris Hemsworth is the one that like
wants to stick around,
renegotiating his contracts. To, like,
that would be fun because I do enjoy like the Branagh, the first movie, even the Dark World.
Alan Taylor, yeah.
Everyone kind of shit talks that one. That's like the dark.
I was
horse
watching that in the shop recently too.
It's so much. Good. It's fun. It is fun. It's not as fun as Ragnarok.
Yeah,
but that's like comparing like.
Definitely the weakest out of the three, in my opinion.
The Guardians of the Galaxy movies kind of like open it up, like we can have a little bit. Yeah, well, that's what they're. Yeah, James Gunn whole thing, that whole situation.
Well, they're not. They're not done. They're just probably done with that iteration of the team.
That storyline.
Yeah, because Guardians of the Galaxy has like. Dude,
well, they set up everything with Stallone and Miley Cyrus.
Dude, the comic
and
books
all the
Venom
other
is like Guardian of the Galaxy.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like there's so many different characters.
Well, then let's go to that then real quick. Venom. What's your thoughts before we go to break?
I can't wait to see that.
What do you think they're going to do? What do you think the trajectory with that character storyline? Do you think it's a one-off?
No, they're planning a trilogy. They're planning a trilogy
around Venom.
Yeah.
Is Spidey going to be in it?
No,
they could. They could.
Is Carnage going to be in it?
Yes, next one, the second one.
Okay, good.
The first.
Because I want to see Venom and Carnage.
Yeah.
Supposedly, if this sets that up, this will be all right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But really,
now, do you think it's more in
supposed to be
as
Carnage? Cletus Cassidy.
Now, do you think it's more in the style of Upgrade?
Harrelson and Tom Hardy.
I know that's such a good duo.
Mikey.
What?
Do you think that the way that they're shooting is it's sort of in the same vein of Upgrade? The last movie that he fucking just put out.
Who
Tom
put that
Hardy?
Out? Tom Hardy didn't do that.
Hardy's not in that.
I thought that was Hardy.
No, but that's so funny because
that guy looks like him.
You just like completely proved my point.
Yeah, I thought that was Tom Hardy.
Because I keep calling Logan Marshall Green second-rate Tom Hardy. He's the dude from Prometheus.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
The guy who gets sick. Trey's brother. What do you call
there
it?
You go.
You know what I mean?
And
like
Brian
I thought it was
Atwood's brother.
He's making the same movie twice.
In the OC.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I thought that was Hardy in the back of my mind.
Everyone does.
Yeah,
and I'm always like, nah,
really
man, that's second-rate Tom Hardy.
That sucks for him.
Mm-hmm.
And
then there's a dude on Supergirl who plays Metallo that is third-rate Tom Hardy.
Third rate.
And second-rate Logan Marshall Green. Yeah,
that's good for him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
making his way up, dude.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh.
That still didn't answer my question.
Justin's like, that
Upgrade,
new Tom Hardy movie. No, I don't think it's gonna be like Upgrade.
I haven't seen it.
Venom is gonna be a sleeper hit. I think a lot of people are gonna talk shit on it.
I mean, I'm excited. It is one of my favorite.
I think people are really gonna love it.
That started, and
I just don't like his accent, his Brooklyn accent.
And
I'm a reporter.
Yeah, it's a little.
And I saw some bad things.
It's a little Christian Bale and Newsies for me. You know, it's just like Christian Bale in his early career. Anytime he had to play somebody from America, he went with a very hard New York accent.
He's got a good one now, though. Like his Bruce Wayne is pretty good.
Yeah, it's better.
I'm Batman.
His Batman was terrible.
Where's the deer?
Where is
it?
Oh, Lord. All right. Well. So you're stoked on Venom. You think Venom's going to be good?
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Sleeper hit for you?
Good, yeah.
Alrighty. Do you think in any way it's going to be like Dark Knight level for that universe?
No.
Like,
no, because
rebranding in a darker, more enjoyable way.
No, because actually it's not part of the MCU at all.
Yeah, it's just Sony.
However, because Tom Holland is technically Sony's Spider-Man, that they're allowing Marvel to use for their cinematic universe. If they ever wanted at any point, they could totally throw Spidey in there.
Pull him back.
And the reason why it's not
Holland
going to matter...
under contract that he would have to do that? Like,
he's Sony's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's under Sony's contract.
That's absurd.
And then
he's on loan.
Yeah, pretty much. It's literally... It's like...
That's a smart move for them. You put him on loan to the largest fucking franchise in the history of film, and then you're just going to bank off of him when you pull him out and you throw him in the third.
Dude, that's what studios do, man. With directors and directors and actors. Because like that's the same thing with J.J. Abrams. Like the dude from Paramount was getting so mad that J.J. Abrams kept going to Disney to do work for Disney.
Yeah.
But he's like, dude, you're contracted to do like other movies. Right? That's why he did Clover, or like that's why he's like producing all these other movies.
Yeah.
And he's got to do like. He's got to come back. I think he's under contract to do one more directorial For
Abrams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he gonna do another?
Paramount.
Is he gonna do another
He's doing
Trek?
episode 9.
Trek is
I don't think he's doing
done.
Trek.
And
No,
that
Trek's not
timeline's done.
No, Trek's not done.
Oh, I heard the Kelvin timeline is like after the
no.
Hemsworth fallout and the Pine fallout, and,
right.
a guy being crushed to death getting his mail. You know,
Yeah.
I thought all of that. Oh, you didn't know that's how he died?
Who died?
What's his name?
Scotty.
Anton Yelkin.
Yeah.
Not Scotty.
Yes.
Anton
But Scotty,
What was his name? What's the character's name? Not Scotty.
Chekhov.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess was his
Jerkoff.
Jerkoff?
Yeah. As much as
Anton Jerkoff.
Anton Jerkoff. It's a new film
God
we
rest his
got
soul.
making.
Right.
What do you call it? He's a very replaceable character. Rest in peace. However,
So, what's the next Abrams thing? Do you think? What have
Episode
they
9.
said? Episode 9
Yeah,
is
but no,
Abrams.
Wasn't he
for
doing a
Paramount?
Netflix
No,
series?
No. For
Paramount?
Disney, Paramount, nothing. I don't know.
Nothing's in the
Wasn't
line.
he doing a
If anything-
Netflix series? Though?
No. Actual direct sequel to the first Cloverfield.
Oh,
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
Oh, even
That's
though he
cool.
didn't direct that one.
yeah.
That was what's his face? I think it was Matt Reeves or Drew Goddard, one of the two.
Did you like 10 Cloverfield?
Yeah, I thought it was great, and
I
I
did
thought
too.
Cloverfield Paradox was great,
I did.
and I thought
was
It got a
Netflix
little
release
weird
one,
for me
right?
at the
Yeah.
end,
Okay.
but I did like it.
no, yeah, that one was pretty good. And
Oh, yeah.
I did not see either of those movies.
I like
didn't
10
see
I like them
either
both.
of them all the way through. I saw bits and parts of each of them.
I love all this.
Goodman was so good.
I
in
love
it.
John
Good.
Goodman, so I'm gonna watch most anything that he does. Like he's a.
You gonna watch
fucking-
The Connors?
The Connors. That is something that we really need to have a whole episode about how weird that's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's a
Is it the
weird.
Roseanne?
I didn't
Roseanne
really care
without
for the
Roseanne.
reboot. I mean,
I enjoyed it. I thought the
it was
fact
just
that
like too. It was just too in your
Hard.
face.
It was
topical.
hard.
It was just
Yeah.
like
I like the fact that they went with
That's
her
sort of
having
South Park,
an opium addiction almost like at that point, and I was like, this is a cool way to go if you're gonna make the show a dark sitcom now. And
Yeah.
but then it's not Roseanne anymore.
So is she
Yeah.
dead now?
That's the idea. Is they're
Yeah.
probably gonna kill her
the
off.
same thing they did with John Goodman when
Yeah.
he wanted to leave.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it'll be now he's writing the story and he killed his wife off in the story. You know, because that's what happened in that whole the
Yeah.
last season of the original run. All right. Well, we're gonna jump to our first break here. We're gonna hear which one are we going with first? You know, which one do you want to go with the named one? There's one.
We'll go with
Tomorrow.
Sure, I have them listed as break 1 and 2, so
All right.
I don't know which one this
Hey,
is.
one of these is called A Woman Emerges from the Shadow. One of these is called Tomorrow is Hard. These
Sorry.
I call these Moose Sick. This is music from Moose.
Moose.
Mr. Andy
Moose.
Moose. We all love him. We all know him.
I wouldn't go that
And
far.
this
I'm just
is.
I don't think I don't know him.
You don't know him? All right. well,
He's a
you
good
should.
kid. He's a good
I
kid.
love
He's
him. I've heard
wonderful.
the music.
He's not that good.
He's
No, I'm just
great. He's
He's
written
the
some
worst.
really
You flip-flop
that
interesting
fucker over
elevator music. And I always thoroughly enjoy it. So we're going to jump to one of his songs. Sorry, Moose. You can fix us in the comments
Yeah.
and all that. You know,
My
get at
bad.
us. And we will be back
bad.
shortly to talk about M&M's. We'll see you in a
M&Ms.
couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Bye. What was that? What?
I don't smoke cigarettes.
You don't? Here you go. Not smoking cigarettes here with Kyle Mocha. Kyle Mocha
may I enjoy one of those as well?
You can enjoy one of them as well. If the gentleman throws them to you.
There's only one left.
There's another pack over here. We're
okay. Good. See, you picked that one up, and I was like, oh, that must be an empty pack.
No, that's a full pack.
And I was like, there's two. I was like, but there's two. So I was like, I'll take one.
Oh, yeah, no. You can give him one.
If there was one, I'd have been like, dude, you're only one. I guess
if there's one thing I do, I share my cancer. I like everybody to have a fair share of cancer.
Don't try it yet.
Oh, don't try it yet. Don't try it yet. Now, welcome back again to Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, live every Tuesday at 9 o'clock here on YouTube. We are also available on iTunes, the Apple Podcast, and the Stitcher.
It smells so good, dude.
Ooh, you're already smelling it. I haven't even gotten mine yet. We have a special treat. We have a special treat for our beer this week. So every week,
we were together for a while.
If you listen in every week, we have a different beer. Or a couple of beers that we like to try out and taste. And usually we drink shitty beers. Up until this point, I've been drinking, I think anybody else that's been drinking beer has been drinking one of two beers. One is Natural Light.
My favorite.
Natural Light. And then the other is Sierra Nevada's Hazy Little Thing IPA.
Oh, yeah. It's a great beer, too.
It is a pretty damn good beer. Now, Zach is here. You tell us exactly where you got the beer, what it is, and your whole. You had a great weekend.
Oh yeah,
a whole great day. Really.
Me and my brother on Sunday went up to the Catskills.
Oh,
it smells really good.
We went see some comedians.
No, we went up to Bethel Woods, where Woodstock took place, to see the craziest show of old men. Judas Priest and Deep Purple.
Oh, Deep Purple.
Now, here we go.
Wait, Deep Purple?
Where's Preston right now?
You got Deep Purple?
But,
okay, Richie Blackmore is no longer in Deep Purple. Hasn't been in Deep Purple for a while. It's Steve Morris that plays guitar.
Steve Morris?
Somewhere out there, Preston's ears are ringing hard.
He's in Colorado.
And he's waiting to make the joke.
Zonked out of his brain because he's allowed to buy weed at a store. And he doesn't know what's going on, but his ears are ringing.
Yeah, his life has changed.
Something's happening right now.
That man has changed.
Oh. Well, so Richie Blackmore is no longer in there.
But both bands were fucking incredible. Fucking Rob Halford is 97? 67 years old. He's still singing at 90% of his range, which is 4 fucking octaves.
Is he pulling away, or is he going to the crowd when he can't hit?
He's going to the crowd a little bit.
That's the smart move.
And just not going as brutal. Like on some of the stuff, but not a lot. I'm saying 10% of it.
Yeah, but have the balls to admit you can't hit that.
Yeah, but you know what? He still rode the fucking Harley out on the stage.
Really?
For Hellbent for Leather.
Oh.
Fucking just revved that fucker on the stage. He did like 12 fucking costume changes. He had a million different.
Did he rev any other fuckers on the stage?
No, after the
show.
But his beard is white now. He's ancient looking, but amazing shot. And
how many earrings did he have? One.
Ben Doolittle says Deep Purple, fuck yeah.
Deep Purple, fuck yeah.
Deep Purple is they were amazing too, man. They just set up. They had the big screen behind them, but they didn't have a huge. They had the keyboard player with a couple keyboards, a bass amp, a guitar amp, a drum set, and a microphone. Like it was very old school, like old rock club setup.
Okay.
But it worked for them so well because they're just like that old school rock band.
Hell yeah.
You know? And to be hitting some herbal essences while I'm watching Smoke on the Water being played by the guys who were in the band. It's just like it was fucking surreal.
Except for at least one.
Yeah. It was surreal. But before the show, before we could check in on our hotel, we got up there early.
Yeah.
It's a nice ride too. It's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's not bad up there.
You know,
and it's nice and woodsy. Got a lot of farmlands and everything.
Yeah, we took Nate's new truck up, like just
explore
really
the mountainside.
Rednecked it up. But
hell yeah.
We went up into the there's the Catskills Forest Preserve or whatever they call it. It's a state park in the Catskills. We're like, there's roads through here. Let's just drive up there and see what's up in the mountain. And we found the Catskill Brewery.
On a whim, you found a brewery.
Yeah, it was just there
on the side of the road,
and I've heard of it.
Just showed up.
The logo, the logo is like a raccoon.
Picture. I've seen that logo.
I've had it before. I had one beer by them. I don't remember, but I remember their name. So we went there, had a whole bunch of beers. It was like an old red barn that they converted into a brewery.
Any event going on there, or is it just a normal...
Across the street is there like a big end of summer hippie flea market?
Okay.
Where you could buy vintage clothes for way too much money.
Yeah, did you buy anything?
No, we looked through all of it and everything was like...
T-shirt cost, how much? Like an old T-shirt, what would it cost there? $20, $30?
Yeah, like 20 and up. Nothing was cheap. Like, you wanted
an old... They raped a salvo.
You wanted an old...
You ain't catching me paying $20 for a new shirt.
I buy them in packs of 12.
Somebody sewed some patches on, and then
literally, me and you were wearing the same shirt, Rich.
So am I.
Tagless.
Holy crap! Yeah, that's it.
But anyway, this beer is...
You guys with your black shirt with words and shit on it.
I want to drink this already.
I do want to drink this. Yeah.
It's called Freaky Tractor.
Yeah.
It's a Belgian-style farmhouse.
That's my favorite kind.
It's my favorite kind, too.
Belgians
It was the
great.
best out of all of them I tasted.
What do you know what the ABV on it is?
in Belgium?
6.4.
Oh, that's pretty good for a farmhouse ale. Yeah. Usually they're resting in like the 4.5% to 6%, so that's pretty good.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. Here, we're gonna give this a taste and ooh, that is.
It's
tastes pretty
it's
good.
Not very.
That's got a crispness to it. That's like.
It's not very carbonated, which is good.
Well, it's also been in a growler for.
It's been in a growler for
You're
3
right.
days.
But I actually like the fact.
3 days is alright. It is.
Yeah.
It's not overly carbonated.
Yeah.
No, it's not over carbonated.
Taste
It's good.
to it.
It's I could just drink this all day.
I'm getting like apples and pears a little bit.
Yeah, I can taste the red of the farmhouse. I can taste the side of the farmhouse. I can taste the dirt.
I'll be honest with you. I feel like it has more of a little punch to it now that it's sat fresh out of the tap.
Do you know if it's unfiltered from them?
I mean, do
we have sediment?
It looks unfiltered.
It does look unfiltered.
Yeah, I'm sure
Very
there's
cloudy.
sediment.
I think it's unfiltered. All right.
Absolutely unfiltered.
And what you went to? Yes.
Yeah, you can't drink.
Are you gonna die?
Unfiltered beer.
I can't have that.
I can't have that.
Oh
no. All right, now.
Okay, we've gone down to 3 people being here.
Yeah.
No, that's why Rich is here.
2. We got a backup guest. Richard gonna ask you a lot of questions about movies.
Yo.
Oh.
He's like, I seen a movie today.
It's
the first time.
First time you ever seen a movie?
Dodgeball.
Good movie. Oh, I haven't watched that in forever.
Yeah.
We're playing dodgeball at the shop right now.
Yeah, that's a good film. That is a great film. Steve the Pirate? Oh my gosh.
How many times do you guys sell a movie?
There's a pirate on our team.
Does that happen?
That does happen quite a bit. Not.
Do people ask you for the movie and the only copy you have is in the DVD
player?
Yeah,
sometimes they'll be like, "Yo, we don't want to buy your only copy." I'm like, "No, buy our only copy."
You know what I want to say? One of
my
my favorite things that's happened in the last month or so is it was Alyssa's birthday and I was like, oh shit, I got her a bunch of gifts. I bought her a bunch of stuff on Amazon. She likes sunflowers, a bunch of sunflower themed like socks and an umbrella, all this shit. And I was like, I already gave it to her like the night before. I was like, I need to like when she comes home, I need to have like another surprise gift or something. So I went to Weiss and I bought her actual sunflowers. And then before I did that, I walked over.
I got her sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds. Yeah, here's some ranch coated. Yes. I went over to the gas station, got a couple bags of sunflower seeds. But I walked into the shop and Mikey was working, and I literally I walked in, I said hi, I walked right to the shelf. Went to the bottom of the shelf, and I was like, I knew this would be here. And I pulled it off the shelf. I walked over to Mikey, and I put it down.
Season of Gilmore Girls.
The last season of Gilmore Girls. The only one we don't have on DVD. And I was like, I knew there would be one copy of this here. And it was brilliant. That's why you guys are great.
Yeah, it only took us like 3 years to get rid of it.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I saw it 3 years ago, probably. But
I think they
one
still
day
have that on the shelf.
I need to know that exists there.
I think that guitar is still there that I want.
Oh, the bass is the bass still up there?
No, there's a yellow Squire with flames on it.
We got it.
It's so terrible. You said you'd give it to me for a good price.
Yeah,
we'll go there and look at it. I was like.
Is that bass still there? The jazz bass still there?
We'll have to liquidate that pretty soon.
Or is it a
I'll give it
bass?
to you.
You had like a white
give me
bass.
15
You had a white
cents
Fender bass hanging. That's gone?
Damn
that thing
was
beautiful. That thing was a beautiful piece. All right, so Zach, in addition to seeing that concert this weekend and bringing this beer to us, which is delicious, and we
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Something else happened this weekend. In the last week or
Friday
so. Friday
morning.
Why don't you talk us through the events before we get into it? How it all unfolded.
I woke up. I had morning wood.
Mm-hmm. Maybe skip ahead a little
as
bit.
we do.
As you do.
I listen to music at work.
Yeah.
And so I have the Apple Music. I open up Apple Music and it's just a big picture of Eminem. It says, Eminem drops a surprise album right now. It's just like, what? Like, no one
out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere, drops a surprise
recorded,
album.
I'm assuming, like, in his house. Like, nobody...
I don't know where it was recorded, honestly.
Does he have his own record label? According to, like, the YouTube video that I was looking at, it has, like, listed different links and everything that it looks like he put it out himself. I mean, it's not like 8 Mile Records or something like that, but it's something...
Shady Aftermath, probably.
Yeah, I'm
sure he's putting it out himself. I mean, he's got the money to be able to do that. So
for sure,
he most likely just recorded all this shit.
Interscope. He's been on Interscope forever.
Okay,
I'm
so
sure
the album is dropped without any notice. The album is called Kamikaze.
Yes.
Right.
And why is the album called Kamikaze?
It is a diss track to the whole fucking planet.
Yeah,
everybody.
Pretty much.
All right.
To a lot of people who shat on his last album.
Yeah. What was the last album?
Revival.
Yep.
Which
exactly.
People talk shit on it, but you know who? Pat loved it.
Pat loves Recovery.
I listened to
Pat
Revival.
is my barometer for rap, so I kind of side with him on that.
I mean, Eminem is arguably the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah, some people.
But his last album,
yeah.
I felt like on the last album he just did not Kamikaze, on Revival. He wasn't angry Eminem. He was just, hey, I'm having fun. Let's make some
already
music.
stood there and watched it burn, and now he's just writing some music.
Go and watch it burn.
Felt like a fun album. It wasn't very serious.
Yeah.
But
did he have any diss tracks on that? Did he go after anybody? Did he start any new beef?
I don't remember
did he bring any beef in?
Any serious beef. No, it was just
he didn't go after Elton John hard, because that is what I always liked about him.
Boys.
Yeah, I know they're boys now, but the thing I liked about him back in the day was, at that time period, if you can put yourself in the perspective of Eminem's coming out and he's like a fresh thing on the music scene, he went after Elton John, and it was just kind of like, you went after one of the most storied songwriters. You went after one of the most beloved songwriters.
I mean, it's smart.
It's smart, and it probably upped himself a little bit.
But
it brought him up, and then
they became friends.
And then it made Eminem more likable, because it started off as an intolerant thing, and then it became, okay, I see the error to my ways, and it proved in that moment that Eminem was able to grow, which can then set you up to be a better artist down the line, that you're not just stuck in your ways, and you're not going to always be exactly the same thing over and over again. Yes, sir.
What is your favorite kind of M&Ms?
My favorite kind of M&M, I like the crispy ones.
See, I like the peanut butter.
I do love peanut butter. Peanut butter is like the go-to. Peanut is great, except for the broken tooth I still have in my mouth.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, my mom.
Yeah, your mom's at fault for that.
No, you
I'm at fault for munching down on a handful of fucking M&Ms every 30 seconds, but your mom bought them. I ate them 3 weeks later. Okay, it's my fault.
Well, the only reason I asked you that is somebody was disappointed that we weren't talking about M&Ms. That was Ben Doolittle.
Ben Doolittle? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Ben. Now, see, if you join us live on YouTube, 9 o'clock on YouTube every week, Tuesdays, we will interact with you, even if it's just to tell you to shut up. Ben, I'm sorry. There you go. Those were my M&M choices. Yeah. Crispy, but Crispy's like a special one. I do enjoy the peanut and peanut butter ones more.
Yeah.
Now, with this actual album, this release, Zach, what do you think? You came up to me and you said, we're talking about this on the show this week, and I told you, don't tell me anything about it. I just want to listen to the album. I made it through halfway through the album, and I went, like, listening to the songs and reading the lyrics as it went, and I went, okay, I don't get the references. I don't understand who they're talking about. He's saying little this and little that and something the God and all the shit. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. So you were right there. I was way out of my league. But I got that he was trying to just start shit with a bunch of people, and getting that the name is Kamikaze. He was just dive
the whole thing.
The
whole thing is pretty crazy because the cover is a Beastie Boys cover. I thought when I originally watched it with Pat, I'm like, I've seen this cover, and Pat's like, how have you heard this song before?
No, it's this. I believe it's the same fighter plane.
It's the same fighter plane with the same color scheme.
Yeah, I also thought it reminded me a lot of the Foo Fighters album that has a fighter on it.
Yeah,
and it seemed very, very similar to that. Now with the release, you have a whole slew of rappers that are being attacked. What genre is it? I mean, he says something about
he really goes after
rap.
mumble rap, dude. Really,
and these are all the SoundCloud
it's not the
rappers
first time,
and such,
remember
right?
Caterpillar?
Royce
the
there's
5'9" track
famous
with him on it.
Panda. That who signed Panda? That was
it's Future.
Oh, Future, yeah,
Future?
that's right. The song's Panda, my bad.
Panda? I don't know any of that.
Huh? That was Kanye.
That was Kanye.
Yeah.
You notice he didn't go after Oliver Tree.
Yeah.
He's not on the radar
Well,
yet.
he does, because he disses all other white rappers.
True.
All other white rappers?
Yeah,
he does.
Even the ones wearing Jenkos?
Yes.
And
all
riding
of them,
scooters?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He went after a lot of people that talked shit on the last album.
And anybody that hit on his daughter on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Machine Gun Kelly thing.
Machine Gun Kelly thing. We'll get to that. Yeah.
I mean, he dissed Drake for having ghostwriters. He dissed Joe Budden for talking shit on him. Lil Yachty for being mumble rap. Lil Pump, Lil Xan, Charlemagne for talking shit on him.
Who do you think is the biggest person, like the person that is constantly being ripped on the most in all this? Is there one more focal than another?
I feel like mumble rap as a whole.
Just the whole.
He took a big aim at that.
And there's that line. What's the guy?
He does mention Joe Budden 2 or 3 times.
So. I mean, he's not the first one to attack.
What was the guy that I said that video?
Rappers,
he said he said my name. He said my name. What was that the kid's name? Remember what it was? There's that
I don't remember
so
the one that watched
the video
video
is him saying like he just said my name. I can't believe it. He said I'm part of the culture. I'm part of the culture, and he starts freaking out. Do you guys remember, Richard, the guy who was freaking out, saying I'm part of the culture. I'm part of the culture.
He's a mumble rapper.
Hobson. So people like
Hobson's
that.
not a mumble.
Oh, I thought he was a mumble rapper.
But he says he's part of the culture.
Ben said the same thing.
You felt like he idolizes Eminem.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So he's going after a lot of people that idolize him too.
Sure.
Now the theory,
the
theory that we've all kind of discussed this previous to coming on here. It feels like what Justin said and what Richard has said before we went on the air, that he is trying to basically reignite the rap game.
And I think that's why having mumble rap as a thing was the best thing for rap, because now you have rappers who are attacking them. What's his name? Who did KOD? That's
J. Cole.
J. Cole just attacked a bunch of mumble rappers as well, and the album's incredible. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it's bringing rappers back to actually
bars matter.
Fucking fighting and dueling and being the best and just one-upping. That's the one thing I will say, that it took me a little while to get in a certain rap that Pat but he's like, no, these guys want to be the best. I want to be the best. That's why I always battle. I will freestyle any fucking time.
Okay. Yeah. So
see, that's rap to me. Like when I got into hip hop because it was
the attitude side of it,
the flexing on tracks like that. When you when you can put together a sentence and every word is a double entendre.
Yeah.
And that shit is just it blew my mind. Coming from writing music and when things were intricate and complicated, I was like, oh wow, somebody put all this together. And rap, if you're not really paying attention to some of the shit, it goes right over your head.
Oh yeah,
when
there's
you
plenty
really
of
get
stuff
into
that
those
I've
guys,
listened to.
like Eminem, that I've listened to the album 3 or 4 times. There's definitely parts I haven't got yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be little idiosyncrasies that you probably won't get for a year still, and oh shit, now I get why he rhymed that with that, you know?
Now, we don't know how long it was in the works. We don't know anything about the backstory of it. Now,
what was the song that he did before that? Was that Butterfly? Not Butterfly.
Caterpillar. With Royce the 5'9".
Right.
And
that's not on the album. That was just released
previously. No, that was a Royce the 5'9" song.
Okay,
he was featured on that.
Which he killed it on that too.
Yeah, man. But he attacks mumble rap on that. Him and Royce too.
Exactly.
Now
the Royce is on this album too. Royce the 5'9" is
on this album. He does that gentleman who I'm not going to attempt to say is Royce the 5 what?
Royce the 5'9".
Royce the 5'9". There we go.
Like the 5'9".
Oh, okay. I get you. Who else did he pull on? What's the kid in the...
Joyner Lucas.
Now,
I don't know much about him other than he had that big I'm Not Racist song.
If you haven't heard that, go listen to that. I'm Not Racist. It's so fucking good, man.
And that guy, like, he had bars on that, but I was, like, when I saw his name, I was like, interesting. And I heard the verse, I was like, oh, damn,
that video, dude, that video is so good. Just the way that they did it. So good.
It's neat.
Now... He has one song previous. Why do you think he was the one pulled on?
I think because of what he actually rapped about. I think the fact that he was
about content.
Well, content and controversy, man. Like, there's a big split within the country. Not that I don't want to get political,
we don't get political.
But there's a very big split that the media is trying to force onto people that I think that's what they were attacking.
Okay.
You know, like misconceptions and not being able to talk about things.
Yeah.
Really.
One thing I wanted to touch on real quick, I don't think he was really dissing Hobson.
You don't think he was just saying...
I think he was just saying, like...
You're part of that culture.
I'm responsible for, like, you know...
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
People. And also, Hobson, the second he heard that, he posted on social media.
That video.
Yeah,
he was going crazy. I gotta call my mom. I gotta call my mom.
Eminem knows who I am. He was freaking out.
That's exactly the way I would have reacted in that situation.
You emulating like one of
your idols,
musicians,
and they put out a song with your name.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In a song that they
I feel like
even
if
it's
we just gotta get Big Pat to write a diss track.
That was such a positive situation. I feel like, you know, like I mean. Even if Eminem meant it as a diss, Hobson was so excited that it's just like, oh, good.
And some other people took the disses to be good. Like Lil Pump tweeted a heart and wrote the message, "Thank you, I deserved that." To Eminem when he dissed him.
How many now?
It
now
should
one
be all in good fun.
And really one response that came
I think
very
that's what
quickly.
most rap battles are.
But one response that came very quickly after this was released on Friday, and I think the 3rd, which was yesterday or the day before, Machine Gun Kelly released his response.
Yes.
To it.
Yesterday.
Now it was yesterday.
And what's actually funny about it is the video came out yesterday. I think the song actually came out later that day. Because there was just a picture of him with the song.
Okay.
And now there's a video. So I think in a single day they got it all together.
Well, it's a pretty basic video, too.
It is,
it's
but
a basic
still.
video. It looks like it was around his tour buses. That's where he... And the track even sounds like... It's a little pingy. Like, it obviously wasn't over,
the bass
mastered.
Sounds like a blown out fucking bass.
But he even mentions at the end, like, this is a quick response to it. Now, he goes hard after him. Do you think that's what Eminem wanted?
I think he wants to bring that back and have those diss tracks and rappers coming back together as a, you know, like
in the way that, like, in sports, Michael Jordan couldn't ever play LeBron James because they're too far apart in age, and it wouldn't be a fair game if LeBron right now played Michael Jordan, so you can go with the digital versions of them. Right now, they're rappers. It's how sharp is your mind, how quick is your mouth, and Eminem proved on this album that both his mind and his mouth are as on top of it as
I will say, man,
ever really
even
been.
Machine Gun Kelly, when in the rap, even acknowledges that Eminem is the best rapper. Yeah, that's his opinion. He's like, you're the best, but you're the best. You need to stop doing it.
Yeah, stop doing it. Sit down. Like, there's more people.
But I think that's just all in fun. Like
in the one line or whatever, the one song with the gentleman. What was his name? The guy that was featured on the first song that we were talking about?
Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, Joyner Lucas. Yeah. It's like, it's my turn to eat. It's like my turn at the table type of thing. Like, Machine Gun Kelly turns that kind of back on him in his song. I personally have never really enjoyed him outside of him being on that TV show with Luke Wilson that he was on.
I never really got into Machine Gun.
It was called Roadies.
Me neither.
But this
What's that
track...
one hook?
His track was there.
I'm a wild boy. That shit was like, that hook was fire.
He looks like I said before, my name for him, my nickname, my feeling when I watch him is he's motionless in rap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's
only a select few of people are going to understand
You're only going to get that, but still,
everyone from here.
You're going to get it. You're going to get it. That's what he reminds me of. Now, the theory that, again, Justin and Rich both kind of came with is that he's trying to revitalize and, like, pump some energy into the game again.
I think it's good, man.
Now, there are certain people that he kind of either pays a little respect to, even if he insults them a little bit. He talks, like certain people are ripping off Lil Wayne, and there's like Nas and Jay-Z references in there.
Right.
My thought is, do you think in any way that Eminem is attempting to build an older guy of rap
Super
Justice League? Like, he's
maybe
gonna get all of them together, and they're just gonna come out with it.
And they're just gonna like kill
collective.
the mumble rappers.
They're just gonna
bury them,
stomp them.
It'd be nice.
Down.
I mean, it would definitely be nice.
Yeah,
I remember what that dude what was that terrible dude who died? See, we've already forgot about him.
The terrible dude that died?
Xtentacion?
Not Hitler?
When they were like, two masked men killed them, and that was like the day after not the day after, but like recently after Caterpillar came out. I was like, it's Emin Royce. Emin Royce just put masks on and they're murdering. They're actually murdering rappers who are terrible.
Man.
Oh, Lord.
Now, you heard it first. Conspiracy.
Zach's conspiracy corner this week. Emin Royce are actually murderers.
Oh, Lord. Now, what do you think, overall, what do you think Eminem's opinion of Drake is, like, based on the shit that he says and Ghost Riders and stuff like that?
They've shared the stage together, but, it's a controversy that Drake has people write songs for him, and when you're supposed to be he's the top rapper, the top fucking streaming artist, I think, of all time or something.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, he's when your grandma like, oh, I heard a rap song. It was by Drake.
It was a Drake song.
The best thing to watch in reference to like a Drake show or how Drake is as a performer is watch the thing Vice did with Ninja.
They're gonna say Degrassi.
With Ninja from Diane's Word.
Okay.
Well, Eminem, this is Diane Word.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, the fact of like his experience with Drake is probably the funniest thing. It's him.
Drake,
him and Kanye West. Like,
yeah.
It's a good video to watch. Yeah, it's so good, dude.
Now, who was left out that you're shocked he didn't go at, and based on like what's going on in the rap world? Is there anybody specifically that you?
I don't really follow many of the mumble rappers and shit. So, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't.
Why did he not go after 6ix9ine?
I think maybe he didn't go after 6ix9ine because the album was done.
Maybe
because that shit with 6ix9ine happened like more recently, like in the last month. That's people really knew who 6ix9ine was.
Everyone.
But he's so terrible. His music is terrible.
I'm pretty sure there's this one line.
So bad. I think Eminem maybe didn't go after him because he's just not fucking good enough.
He's on the totem pole, and he says that in one of the lines. How there's like rappers he's not.
That he's not gonna say because they don't deserve it.
Yeah, push him under. Push him under. Yeah.
So that's his little diss.
He has that little diss to them. But how much do you think they're like wiping their brow, like thank God, or do you think some of them are like, fuck, I wish I was on there with the rest of them?
I think 6ix9ine's wiping his ass.
Yeah.
If he's calling you out, saying. That means that there's a response track that is expected. Like Machine Gun Kelly came out really quick.
Ben on the chat said because Luda is handling 6ix9ine. Did Luda diss 6ix9ine? Did I miss
that? 6ix9ine dissed Luda.
Oh, is Luda gonna come back at it though?
I don't know.
Wasn't Luda in a shampoo commercial?
6ix9ine has been going hard on
maybe.
Really?
I think Luda is in a shampoo commercial.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't watch his music. I just can't.
See, I find it so entertaining. I don't like his music, but I love his social media.
I can imagine, dude.
Because it's just entertaining as shit. But he went as far as like calling Luda out for being on a Justin Bieber song.
Nice.
Hey.
And he's like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
wasn't he on a country song as well?
Like Ludacris, and he's like walking down the stairs.
Luda did a country song?
I think so. I know.
Ludacris is.
I know LL Cool J also
he had
did
country style like rap back in the day. Like there was the one video that's like him and the
southern thing, man.
I guess Luda responded already. That's what Ben's saying.
Oh, he already
shit on him last night.
Oh shit! We're not even.
We missed it, dude.
We're not up to date.
God damn.
Oh god, we're gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to circle back around on this. We're gonna have to. We're totally gonna remember next week.
We'll listen to the Luda disc and we'll let you know next week.
Yeah, we'll let you know what we think.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna jump to our second break here, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Again, this is a song from Mr. Andy Moose. We don't know what the title of it is.
Is he dissing someone in this?
I think he's dissing
Andy
a lady.
Moose diss track.
He's dissing a lady in music. That's what he's doing on this one. All right.
I think so.
Well, we're gonna give you a couple minutes to enjoy this music. We'll be back shortly. Talk to Mr. Mikey Martino about movies and other things and life and things and stuff. Maybe Fortnite. Maybe. Who knows?
I'm writing a Fortnite diss track.
You guys are a bunch of dorks video games and stuff. All right. Well, enjoy the music. We'll see you in a few minutes. Bye-bye.
welcome back.
And we're back. Yeah. Episode 19 of Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up.
Oh, yeah.
Live on YouTube, or if you're listening at a future date on iTunes or Stitcher, go fuck yourself. You should have just been listening live. It's way better live. You interact with us like Mr. Ben Doolittle is tonight.
Thank you.
Now, our guest this week is Mr. Mikey Martino.
Hi.
He's been here. You've heard him. He's been talking. He's a wonderful gentleman.
A couple times.
Talked
a couple
times. A few times. Now, Mikey, I forget exactly when I met you, where I met you, anything like that. My knowledge of you is just like one day I knew who Mikey Compton was.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we just
maybe it's MySpace. Maybe I just knew of you from MySpace and then we met through friends.
You hit me up on Facebook like a week ago. You're like, you want to be on the show?
Yeah. I was like, yo, bro,
hey,
I never met
guy.
you before.
You
hey,
still
dude.
use
I
this?
feel like Mikey's that kind of guy that, like, I remember not knowing him. Then all of a sudden, like, yeah, you know, Mikey, like, oh yeah, I know Mikey. And then it was just like, it's like we've always known each other at this point. There was no moment, you know.
It's like, I mean, Zach's not going to get this, but that episode of Rick and Morty with the parasites and how they just
your brains,
absolutely. Like that's kind of what
Am
you
I
are.
the only one who doesn't watch?
Yeah, you're the only
I still
one
have
who doesn't
to
watch.
get caught up on it.
I don't watch anything.
It's on Hulu, man.
It is brilliant.
It's on Hulu. Justin's got Hulu.
Really need to watch
Hulu.
it. It's amazing. Now, speaking of really need to watching things, Mikey, me and you, our personal history, our friendship, mainly comes from our love and obsession for
movies.
As I will say, movies. Yes, it's film and movies. Even.
Cinema.
Cinema.
The cinema.
The cinema.
Cinema.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, for as long as I've known you, that's what we've talked about. We've talked about writing. We've had multiple attempts at writing things over the years, and one day, someday,
one day it'll happen.
We'll write something, and we're just waiting.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about.
One day it'll fall in our lap.
It'll fall in our lap.
The idea will fall in our lap.
And we'll just be like, here's the movie we need to
There
make.
it is.
Maybe we already came up with it. Maybe we don't know yet. Now, what I want to know more is your personal experience with movies, because for me, movies are a very personal thing. I grew up not having like cable or anything like that because it was a bill that my parents didn't want to pay, but they would spend $35 a month, on renting movies at the video store, at Blockbuster, at Tiger Video back in Bushkill back in the day, at Movies on the Move,
48 Hours Video.
48 Hours Video, the place in Walmart when it was 7 movies for $7 for 7 days, like shit like that.
Yeah.
777.
What was that place?
My family went to the 666.
What was that place
I
called?
forget what that was.
It was open for like not long.
It was a couple of years, but it was back.
It's
it was
now
still
it's the hair place now.
It's
right?
the hair place.
I remember
Yeah.
renting the Crow Salvation there.
Ooh.
I think that
Dude, sorry, man.
whichever one with Eddie Furlong in it.
Oh,
yeah.
Furlong and I forgot he did one of those.
I think it might have no.
Okay, now this idea right here. This is going to bring me my first question I have for you. And originally it was going to be phrased as this: what is the first movie you remember going to the theaters and seeing? But now I'm going to make it a 2-part. What's the first one you remember seeing in theaters, and what's the first one you remember renting?
The first movie I remember seeing in theaters is probably The Mask.
Jim Carrey.
The Mask.
And that's
when
like
I lived
94.
in Brooklyn, yeah.
That's 94. So what are you, like 6 at that point?
I was probably like 4 or 5.
4 or 5? What year were you born?
89.
89. So
yeah,
4 or 5. Damn. That's early on.
And then the 3 movies I remember when I was a kid was The Mask, The Muppets on Treasure Island.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
That's a good one.
Good film.
The Haunting. The one with Liam Neeson.
Oh, The House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Oh no, The
that's
Haunting with Owen Wilson.
The Haunting. It's
yes,
called.
yes.
With Owen Wilson
and Lily Tyler.
Lily.
The chick from
Taylor,
the Ben Stiller movies
from Mystic Pizza.
And Mystic. Yeah.
And The Conjuring.
Oh, true.
The first Conjuring.
Okay, yeah. Now, so that's for me. I remember going to the theaters as a kid and seeing a movie, and I'm assuming at this point I must have seen a movie like 2 or 3 years after it was released, because my first memory of seeing a movie is seeing Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That was one of my first ones as well, dude.
That came out when I was way too young to remember it at all. But my first memory of going to the theater is like, I remember thinking like, okay, this is something I want to remember for the rest of my life, was seeing, and this is, I'm like 9 or 10 at this point, so there's plenty of movies that I'd seen before it, but this is one that I just kind of like solidified. Seeing Billy Zane's The Phantom.
Yeah.
I went,
so good.
It's so great. I saw that, and I also remember a year or two earlier, I think I saw Alec Baldwin's The Shadow.
The Shadow.
And it's so great. And I saw both of them at the Wind Gap Theater, which was a $2 movie theater. The stickiest floors you've ever walked on, just all covered in popcorn butter for forever. And they're never, ever going to mop.
Nope.
Is that what we call that now? Popcorn butter?
Popcorn butter. That's what we call that on the floor.
So
it's from popcorn butter. Yes, sir.
While we're talking about the first movie...
Ooh, I like what I see on your screen now.
Now, I don't remember seeing
this is one of my favorite movies.
I mean, I remember it now.
Yes.
But this is what my parents told me was the first movie I ever saw in theaters.
That is a good
one. They went Last Action Hero. I don't remember seeing it in theater.
Bucket bumpers.
Yeah. But you know, they took me to that when I was fucking 2 years old.
2 years old?
It came out in 93. I don't know what month of 93.
That's
but I was probably
I don't know if I saw that in theaters.
That's amazing. That is absurd. That movie was way ahead of its time. It was so meta in the way of like, he looks at a picture of Sylvester Stallone in a movie rental store as the Terminator. I love this guy. He's so great. Yeah. I love this guy. He makes some great movies. And then the whole idea of there's no area codes. Or there's area codes, but everybody's got a 555 number. So he's just like, what's your phone number? And he's just like, 555-9629. He goes, but there's only 9,999 possible numbers. He goes, that's what area codes are for. And it's just so... He falls into La Brea tar pits and then gets out and wipes it off with like paper towels. He's just wiping... And his hot daughter, Vicky Valancourt or whatever, fucking shows up. And it's his hot daughter. The chick that was in, was it Billy Madison, plays the teacher. Yeah. Not Vicky Valancourt. Veronica Vaughn.
Veronica Vaughn.
I want to touch her. You know, a friend of mine.
No, he didn't.
Well, you know, he'd really like to.
Who ate all the kids' lunches?
If Pete in Your Pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. But Last Action Hero is like absurdly ahead of its time. It also has the dickbag Lannister father as the bad guy.
Yeah, Charles Dance.
Which is so...
With that eye.
Oh my god, the smiley face eye.
I love that guy, man.
It's such a... It's
a good villain.
If that was your first film that you ever got to see, like, that is a great first movie in the theaters.
He's in that new Ghostbusters. He's Kristen Wiig's boss. Yeah.
Oh, weird. He's somebody that's just had a career playing a villainous guy.
Yeah, because even in Ghostbusters, he's not like villainous. He's just very uptight, like
uppity.
Like just very uptight, like headmaster of a college.
Okay, yeah. So that's what you're saying for your first like
the first movie
theater.
I remember.
Justin, yeah.
My grandmother used to take me. I couldn't remember if it was part 3 or part 2. It ends up being part 2, but Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Ooh,
that was the first thing I remember seeing.
You're a child being brought to see that movie.
Well, it was my grandmother. She just wanted to go see a movie, and that's what I got to see.
I don't know,
which was awesome.
For my one of my favorite memories going to see a movie ever is when. I guess it's 99 when Sixth Sense came out, right?
Okay.
I am 12, turning 13. Craig is a year and a half younger than me. Keith and Kevin are like 6 years old. And our uncle, who has a history of having seizures, takes us to see The Sixth Sense, knowing at all what it is.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in the theater... And like a half hour into the movie, Kevin turns to me and he just goes, nobody else is talking to him. Why don't they get it? And I'm just like, Kevin, shut up. And he's like, no, he's dead. He's dead.
It would be, dude.
And the entire movie, he's just going, he's dead. He died in the first scene. He's dead. He died. Like, what don't you get about it?
That went over
that
my
was
head
totally,
so hard.
it's one of the better written stories there. And this kind of ties me into my next question. What writer, and I know M. Night Shyamalan is somebody that you enjoy a lot of his movies, I enjoy a lot of his movies, but maybe it's him, maybe it's somebody else. What writer's films do you look forward to seeing the most when they announce like whose career?
Tarantino.
Oh hell yeah!
Dude, honestly, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you were going to say. Tarantino, what's your number one Tarantino? Do you have one, or do you just kind of just love the catalog?
You know what? That's one director, and the reason why I always go to him and he's like the top for me is because literally you can't pick a bad movie of his. Like every one of his movies, there's just something you love about each and every one of his movies. Even Hateful Eight, although Hateful Eight is probably the one I've seen the least.
Yeah.
Hateful Eight's probably the one I've seen the least, but
I would say that
the dialogue in that movie is still great.
In my brain, when I
can't wait for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, dude.
Oh my god! So that's Pitt, there's Brad Pitt and
Leonardo DiCaprio, Luke Perry, Al Pacino.
Luke Perry's in it.
Luke Perry, dude.
Luke Perry.
Yeah. Al Pacino, Margot Robbie.
Oh damn!
Dude, he's
so this is all about the. It's a lead up.
It's a backdrop.
It's a backdrop.
Okay. Sharon Tate murder is a backdrop.
Is Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate?
Yep.
Oh dear Jesus!
Yep.
That's
beautiful. He even has some rando guy casted as Roman Polanski.
And is this finale, or there's one more after this one?
I think this was supposed to be the last one, right?
No,
but then he's saying Star Trek.
Yeah,
dude.
Which having Patrick Stewart on board, dude.
That's so bad.
Having Patrick Stewart on board is
Patrick
the key,
Stewart's
dude.
coming back for a TV show version of it, and he has said that he wants to. There was a specific episode or a couple episodes that it seemed that Tarantino was looking towards.
It was I forget what season, but an episode where it's like one of the past episodes.
Yeah.
Where they go back in time, and instead of making first contact with the Vulcans, they make first contact with the Klingons.
Right.
So it's a pre-Federation world, and it's just all-out brutal war with the Klingons.
That's awesome.
With Earth in like
Earth,
2300.
Written by Tarantino.
Like maybe
Tarantino said in an interview that.
But maybe they have Space Force, but realistically they don't have much to defend them, and it's
starting some Space Marines.
essentials fighting against an outside force.
Well,
Space Force.
If you know the way that it
Force.
is in First Contact.
Yeah.
Remember First Contact?
Yep.
Like Earth is sort of like it's after World War III. Like shit is not like so great on Earth.
Yeah.
And they're the saving grace that kind of comes along.
When fucking Shitter's full. Isn't that the guy?
Shitter's
in
full.
First Contact?
Shitter's full?
Is the guy that is the same?
No.
Is his name Shitter's full?
In my mind,
he's
it's
talking,
that guy. The guy from
about,
Vacation.
Yeah, the guy from that National Lampoons.
I thought you were saying his name was Shitter's full, and I'm like,
what's
Shitter's
full?
That's
Shitter's
he went
full.
crazy.
Wait, you're talking about Randy Quaid?
Randy Quaid, yeah.
Randy
Quaid's not
Star
in it.
Trek in First Contact?
No, I don't think he is, but in my mind, I can only picture Randy.
That's why I would not.
Yeah,
you said the guy that was in Vacation, Shitter's full.
It just looks like him in my brain.
Okay.
But I don't remember.
Wait, was it Dennis Quaid?
I don't remember who it is.
Was it? No? Alright.
Inner space, bro.
Alright, so either way, Tarantino is talking about doing that. Do you think, overall, that ending his original with it's called Hollywood Story?
But it's
James Cromwell?
I know it's not him.
That'll do,
but in my mind,
it's
still...
Wait, let me see. Who is it?
James Cromwell.
You know going Shitter's full? No, that's not him. I know. But in my mind, I can't help it.
I think you just gave Randy Quaid way too much credit as an actor.
I know.
That dude literally has an Oscar nomination for the movie Babe. He's nominated for saying "That'll do, pig."
I get it now.
Oh my lord!
But when I think about First Contact, I can't help but in my mind picture Randy Quaid as that guy.
Okay, all right.
Picture him going. Shitter's full.
Shitter's full. Shitter's full.
I think the line "shitter" was full.
Shitter was full.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
"No, I'm trying not. No Mandela effect here.
No Mandela effect.
No more conspiracy."
Oh, all right. Now, in line with different movies that you've seen, what would you say are the top movies?
I could be wrong,
Mikey, that you would put on to go to sleep. What are the movies that are on rotation? The ones that are
right now?
Classics. Yeah, right now, long term. What are ones that you can always go back to? I have a set few that I know I could always put on, and I could be interested until I fall asleep.
I'll throw out a couple to help out
for you. What is it?
Definitely Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Anything in Wes Anderson, like any of his catalog.
Bombs, all that shit.
Wes Anderson movies make me fall asleep. They're amazing.
Oh yeah, they're great.
What Wes Henderson?
Wes Henderson.
Oh, Wes Henderson.
We're Henderson.
And the other is Gaspar Noé.
Is it good? I gotta see.
Oh yeah, for you, Gaspar Noé is one of the biggest things that you talk about as far as film. In my experience and knowing
which
you,
Mikey, he has another film coming out soon.
Who?
Gaspar Noé.
Oh yeah,
it's a horror,
the dance movie.
It's a horror dance movie.
Yeah.
You said it was a musical, right?
It's a horror musical.
What's it called? Climax?
Yeah, I think it's Climax.
Yeah, I need to see that. Sophia Boutella, son.
Did you watch?
She wifey's.
Fuck, it's a musical. It's like Rocky Horror.
Bye Bye Birdie.
What's the name of the movie?
Man of La Mancha.
Who? Sophia Boutella?
No.
The Sound of Music.
Not The Sound of fucking Music.
9.
It's a musical. It's Repo the Genetic Opera.
Oh yeah. Done by the guys who did Saw or whatever.
Yeah. That shit was fucking crazy
too.
The
film?
No, you're thinking of just Repo Man.
Repo Man.
Yeah,
with Forrest Whitaker. I love that movie too.
Same concept though, really. Same fucking concept.
Yeah,
one's an action film though.
RZA might be in that one.
He's the one that is helping him at the beginning. He's the one that's is the computer guy.
He's a computer guy.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that was a
good movie.
So
what other
Repo Man,
is a movie called Repo Man? What movies, Mikey, do you have to go to sleep to? What is your?
To be honest, mostly on rotation when I go to bed is honestly Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Family Guy
TV.
That's the ultimate one that's like one of those shows where you really don't have to pay attention.
Right.
But sometimes some real funny shit will happen and it'll catch your attention.
Yeah.
I love shows
so
that
you can wake up for half a second, laugh, and then fall back.
That's what it's made for, man.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
That's what the manatees meant.
I was gonna question you earlier when you said you didn't like South Park.
Yeah.
Immediately I went, "Oh, this motherfucker loves Family
Guy." Yeah, honestly, dude.
I was like, "There has to be that."
That's so funny.
So Mikey likes the easy laugh.
Wait, did you like the Orville?
Easy laugh.
I only saw the pilot. I only saw the pilot.
Dude, watch a couple more episodes.
Dude, it's really good. It's really good. And the season 2, they had to recast the female bodyguard character. She left to go do some other show. But it's still it is. He takes the show as seriously.
You're talking about the tiny girl, the tiny alien that's really
fighter,
strong,
the one that's not the orc-headed girl.
Oh,
whatever the fuck her name is.
I think Seth MacFarlane is one of the funniest dudes
in
the past 20 years.
He wanted to do Star Trek basically so bad, and he couldn't do Galaxy Quest, and he just did his own attempt at it. Yeah. And it works. It works really, really well. They do a lot of the social stories that Next Gen was doing. It's in the Next Gen vein, and that's what it's
but mixed in with
on.
Family Guy,
Mixed in with Family Guy.
Now, did you like movie? Not to cut you off. You're gonna say end.
No, whatever.
Movie. Sorry, man.
Yeah,
that's your show. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck me.
What was the McFarlane movie?
Ted?
No.
Million Ways to Die in the
Million
West?
Ways to Die?
No. He also helped out
movie.
with the little
movie
skit
43?
Movie 43.
Oh yeah, the movie that everybody got tricked into
Yeah.
making. All of the actors were under contract to do this movie, and then they just forced them all to be in it.
Yep.
And filmed one scene pretty much with every single actor, and then spliced the whole thing together, kind of in a Kentucky Fried
Movie. It was
movie
very
way.
fucking weird, man.
But it was just
movie.
they got the biggest names they could get. And it's like, I don't know, like somebody like George Clooney's in it, but somebody big like that is in there.
Hugh Jackman's in it.
Hugh Jackman, there you
Lindsay
go.
Lohan and what's his face? AIDS
Halle
guy.
Berry's in it.
AIDS guy?
AIDS guy, you know.
Tom Hanks?
2.5 AIDS guys?
2.5 AIDS guys? Oh, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, at the height of Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
He
winning.
was there.
It was also Halle Berry was in it.
And they were just all under contract, and then they got
And
out of
you
their
know who
contract
else was
by
in
doing
that?
the movie.
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid?
Because he's trying to get the movie made.
He was trying to get the movie made? That's his character in the movie?
No, he wrote it.
Dennis Quaid wrote movie 43?
All right, so basically you start watching the sketches.
Yeah.
And it's about the fact that Dennis Quaid, this is a movie concept that Dennis Quaid came up with, and he's trying to sell it to the studio. That is legitimately.
Is he on camera at all, or is it?
Oh yeah. No, there's a whole scene where they go to the studio and Seth MacFarlane pops up as the head of the studio.
Oh Jesus Christ!
It's a really fucking weird movie.
Yeah, I've never really felt intrigued to watch it. Yeah, I think now that intrigues me a little bit to see it. Now, we're talking about movies we love, but what about movies you hate? Have you ever walked out of a movie in the theaters?
No.
Ever?
Nope, because if I pay for a movie ticket, I'm watching the whole thing, and if it sucks, it sucks, and I just never will watch it again.
And you've never gone and been like, hey, give me a refund on my movie ticket to a movie theater?
The only time I've ever done that was when I went to try and go see Force Awakens on $5 movie night on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And the only seats open were literally the front row.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
So I was like, fuck it, and we walked out.
And that was your first try seeing it?
Yeah, no, that was my second try.
But still,
I saw it opening night and had a way easier time getting in there than on Tuesday $5 movie night.
Yeah, that shit gets crazy.
If you live in the Poconos, you know how rough $5 movie night is.
That's why we do the podcast on Tuesdays, so we don't get tempted to do that.
Yeah.
You know what?
But,
and if we do, it'll be early in the morning.
And they wouldn't even let me because I had bought like a soda and a popcorn and everything. I was like, I'm getting ready to watch the movie. I come back out, I'm like, there's like no seats left, and they wouldn't let me return the drink.
Really?
Yeah, they let me return the popcorn.
The popcorn was okay. Wait. They're okay with.
You're gonna chuck the popcorn too, though.
Yeah, so you're gonna pour the popcorn back in.
They were just so mad that
what if you walked in there and shoved your face into the popcorn when there's no seats, and then walked back out and went, here, they're done with the popcorn right now.
It made no sense. It's kind of like the way Trackside won't let you take your wings that you ordered to go.
Yeah, on a special. We do the same thing.
It's like, I don't get that.
The special is dine-in only. It's cut cost.
Well, no, I can understand that, but not allowing a place to take the food that you don't eat with you.
Yeah, here's the trick. Here's the trick with this. Here's what you do.
I was talking about that too. It's like I never run into that problem because I always finish my food.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The trick is that if you go to a place that has wing night, right? And you order 25 wings and you eat 10 of them. If you also order a cheeseburger and ask for a box for the cheeseburger, throw those wings right on in there.
I know, but why is that? Why is that even a thing? Because regardless of if you order,
it's not like they can reuse the wings.
You're still paying for them
because they don't factor in literally what it is: the cost of the box, the to-go ramekin, and the lid for your sauce and all of that stuff.
Wing nights are hard on restaurants.
No, it is.
Like, you are losing money when you're giving it away to go.
It is, but so if it's already at the table and you're not giving them anything extra.
See, but I'm not asking to go. I'm not saying. I'm not asking. Like, I'm not. Hey, let me order all these wings and bounce.
Yeah.
If I'm eating there and then like let's say there's
would do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, but
so it's got to be one rule for all.
But.
Yeah, you have to have one rule.
You get sticky.
You can't
it gets a sticky situation there.
I feel like if you
haven't finished half of your wings, it doesn't matter. It's at the table. Don't give them any extra sauce if they want extra sauce. Charge them for it at that point.
Yeah.
Or if you want to charge them for the to-go box, whatever.
Well, that's what it really comes down to. Charge $1 for a to-go box.
Or something. Because the thing is like if you order 20 wings or 18 wings or whatever, or 24 wings, and you don't end up eating, let's say, one whole order of them, if you're not allowed to take them out
and they're just being thrown out.
Yeah, like either don't charge them for that or
now I'll tell you, at the bar I've had to tell people that they can't take them to go, and I've seen grown men take a cardboard paper tray with wings, sauce all over it, and put it in their pockets and walk out the door with them.
Jovina did that once.
Jovina
put
it's a smooth move if you don't care about
and took it out
pockets.
Because he didn't know the rule.
Yeah.
So he was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I wouldn't have ordered all these wings had I known I couldn't take some home." Or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was only like 4 or 5 wings, 6 wings, something like that.
Kind of proves the restaurant's point a little right there, though.
But not really, because at the same time,
I wouldn't have ordered all these if I knew I couldn't take them home.
However, though, if you're paying for them and you're still getting that money regardless,
they're
instead of throwing them out,
dude, on wing night, you're not getting any money.
You're losing.
I don't know, dude.
Realistically,
they're making that money.
You know what? But I do want to point out that Trackside's
also got like 55-cent wings.
and they are our sponsor this week. Trackside, our sponsor.
Yeah.
They're our sponsor this week. Come for the wings. We won't let them take you with them.
I'm still gonna be there tomorrow.
I mean, the cost of wings.
Like I said, not an issue for me. I'm just saying,
stupid
rule for everyone else.
I'll be there. Hopefully,
who can't finish.
It sounds like a good way to spend my Wednesday. Hey, I was there
for
for
at 5
today.
if you guys want to go. Justin's got off tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I am off tomorrow.
Ooh, maybe wings at 5.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really like wings. I'll be honest with you. I don't like wings.
Yeah, Richard.
But wings do cost a lot of money, man. It is hard to do.
It is from a restaurant standpoint.
But if I had a restaurant that did wings, which I wouldn't, I would. Every person, doesn't matter. You can only order 5 at a time. It's wing night. You can have it. You can keep ordering as much as you want, but you can order 5 at a time.
Yeah.
And if you end up getting 15, and you don't finish 3 of them, fuck it, take it home.
Yeah.
Like that's a way where it's not like, yo, give me 80 wings.
Yeah.
And then I'm
How
going
much
to
do you
eat
think
5
wings cost? Per
wing?
restaurant.
They're expensive.
They're about a quarter a wing.
I can tell you
way more
so
than
they're not
that.
making
Minimal.
money on 55-cent wings.
I ran a restaurant.
No, because you add the sauce, you add literally the blue cheese, the celery that you're putting on
The
there, the
electricity.
boat.
I don't know
that
if this has ever happened to you, but Trackside does charge.
Oh yeah, we charge for celery and blue cheese.
No, yeah.
It's 40 cents. It's 40 cents a wing. If you want blue cheese and celery, it's 50 cents extra.
Oh yeah, it's just 55 cents for the wing, and then they'll give you if you order 4 orders of wings, they'll just give you 1 sauce.
They put them in paper baskets.
Sauce per order.
Yeah,
I shit you not.
All that shit.
Back in the day at Jocks, what we actually made on wing night off each wing.
It was beer.
Was
beer you were making money
less than a half a cent per wing.
Yeah. You don't make money. I mean? You're doing that so people drink beer.
Yeah, the whole point is to get people to drink beer, which you.
That's why they charge for waters at a lot of places on a wing night or something like that. But stepping away from the food service industry, which is
we got real heated on
highly
interesting. I'm not even heated. I think if you order them and you're
I do agree
gonna
with
just
you, Mike,
chuck them anyway.
I bought them.
I'm paying for them. That's like the equivalent of like a Target or something using a goddamn cell phone jammer or some shit, so that way you can't check prices elsewhere or something. You know what I mean? Like,
brilliant idea, dude. Target.
Yeah, let's sell that. Hey, Target, if you want to sponsor our show, we'll sell you the strawberry jammer.
Hey,
that's what we're calling it.
You go into a Target, there's no fucking service.
There isn't.
You're right.
Cell phone.
They line everything with lead. All right. Now, Mikey, the last question I have for you. Last question I have for you related to movies.
Money hunters.
What movie? And I know we've talked about a couple, and we're talking about doing future episode where you come on and you pick an episode, or you pick a movie, I pick a movie.
I think you guys should do that.
And we're gonna do that.
I think we will.
It'll be like an homage to the old way the show was with the picking 2 bands. We'll pick 2 movies.
Yeah, I'm never listening to Piebald again.
Me? No, I will. I listen to him all the time.
Seriously.
Will
never happen again.
What was the band that you made me listen to?
Caven?
Yeah, I've never listened to Caven since.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sorry to hear that.
Part of it.
Sorry to hear that, friend.
You're part of it. But what would you say, aside from the one that I brought up earlier, which we can talk about, what movie are you guilty of never having seen that you know you should have seen?
Braveheart.
Never
seen Braveheart.
Really?
Damn, dude.
I know.
You were so quick with that.
I know.
Well, you have 16
Well, when I saw
hours
that question, when you sent it to me earlier, I was like, Braveheart, easy.
Braveheart,
like, no.
really?
Everyone
can take on love.
Everyone gives me shit for that. Yeah, everyone gives me shit for that.
Oh my lord. And you sit in a room with the television all day long, and you have 5.5 hours.
For some reason, it just does not grab me. Nothing about that movie ever grabbed me. Even Mel Gibson. I love Mel Gibson.
How many times have you watched any of the Lord of the Rings?
Oh, I've seen probably all the Lord of the Rings at least 2 or 3 times each.
Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How many times have you seen the Star Wars movies?
Oh, countless. Yeah. Countless since I'm a kid, you know.
But the idea of sitting and watching a 3.5 hour Mel Gibson...
I'm like,
well,
punch that mic.
Yeah,
how many times would you like to sit down and watch Dances with Wolves?
I don't mind.
Oh, Dances with Wolves twice.
I love that movie.
But when was the last time you sat down and watched that movie?
In high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in high school.
Or The Postman.
Exactly.
What any other big ones that you know that you've never seen that are kind of like big shots? I mean, the one that I was talking about earlier is Dead Poet Society.
Which is crazy that you've never seen.
It's absurd because I heard.
I'm with you on this one. I've never seen it. I have no idea what it is.
But he also hates Robin Williams.
I didn't even know Robin Williams was in it until you told me about it.
Yeah. If you hate Robin Williams,
I dislike him strongly.
No, I think this movie. I think this movie will change your opinion on Robin.
Maybe.
I love Hook.
You love Hook,
but I hate Robin Williams.
Then this is 2 years prior to Hook. Robin Williams.
It's fucking great. Watch the movie, dude.
You've seen Hook, Mikey, right? We saw it in the theaters. Did you come with us? That was me and Richard went to that. We saw Hook in the theater when they brought it back.
I wore that shit out on VHS, man.
Dude. We wore it out so much that my brother had to get it tattooed on.
Yeah, he wore it out so much it found its way onto his legs.
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. You tell a kid when he's 12, you're thinking of getting a Hook tattoo, and then he turns 22 and you still haven't gotten it. You know what happens?
You got a Hook tattoo.
He gets the Hook tattoo.
Stupid.
That's what happens. It was going to be on my forearm. I just wanted the hook. Like the whole decorative hook, I wanted that as a forearm.
He's like, I really wanted a hook, so I just.
And then I just sliced my wrist instead. That's what I do on a weekly basis, But
he's got a hook in.
Be across the street, not down it, just for attention.
All right.
Yeah.
So definitely Braveheart.
Braveheart, yeah. Justin, what's a movie that you have never seen that you're guilty of never having seen?
I don't.
Anything that you see online that you're like, I should watch this. I haven't watched it because mine are recent.
All right, yeah, I would probably say some stuff more recent.
Yeah. Because for a while it was Godfather for me.
If you do more recent, you kind of have you still have some time to watch that.
Still have some time.
You need something that has to have been out for at least a decade.
Something that I've wanted to see.
I'm on the verge of a decade with mine. Mine was I have not seen 2 movies. One's about a decade, 6-7 years old. I've not seen Tusk and I've not seen Yoga Hosers.
I'm surprised.
Yoga Hosers is very weird.
Kevin Smith and I think what it is Red State redeemed him after Cop Out. It was a year later.
I love Cop Out.
But Cop Out was the least Kevin Smith movie he had ever made.
Oh yeah, that's
for sure.
I never even heard of that.
He didn't write it. It's Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan, and it was originally supposed to be called A Couple of Dicks. And they wouldn't let him release the movie as titled, so they called it Cop Out as a Cop Out. So they're cops.
Yeah,
Sean William Scott's in it. It's a fun fucking movie.
It's good, man. It's good.
It just fell short.
You think it's more or less Kevin Smith than Jersey Girl though?
No, Jersey Girl I think is the most Kevin Smith movie, honestly. As far as personally goes.
Yeah. Jersey Girl, man, that movie will have me crying.
That movie he wrote after
never saw it.
He wrote after his dad
You watched
died.
Jersey Girl.
George Carlin in a dramatic role as Ben Affleck's dad is one of the best things.
Oh yeah,
he
really
is. He plays such a good Jersey. I mean, he's a Jersey asshole. Kevin Smith movies, I love all of them, and I've watched Hollyweed, the first episode that they put out for that, and it's phenomenal. And they do a really funny thing on the show because half of it was filmed 2 years ago, and then one scene was filmed, or all of it was filmed 2 years ago, and then one scene because the actress that was in it now has another gig and can't be in the show anymore.
Yeah, she's on that show on Showtime.
Yeah. And so they have a last scene where they rewrote it. And Kevin Smith shows up, and all of a sudden he's 40 pounds lighter than he was in the previous scene because they did it after his heart attack. And he's just like, I don't know, I just woke up and I took the biggest shit of my fucking life. and I just lived it. And they fix a whole big issue by just saying I took a big, and it's just, that's the, he always described himself back in the day as dick and fart jokes. But he was so much more than that. And that's a dick and a fart joke right there. But it's brilliant. It's one quick motion, fix a problem. And, I mean, for Kevin Smith, it was always the original kind of 4 or 5 movies up to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back before Jersey Girl. You have Clerks, you have your Mallrats, Dogma, Chasing Amy, and then Jay and Silent Bob, the Jersey Chronicles, if you will.
Yeah.
I am really, really excited for the next Jay and Silent Bob movie that he's doing. Because
that happens,
it's already in motion. They're talking. It's going to be Jay and Silent Bob Reboot is the name of it, and they reboot the movie series from the first Jay and Silent Bob with new actors, and it's pretty much they rehash. It's going to be it's a Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah.
Rehash all the jokes all over again. But now half the people that you had are dead or not funny anymore.
Well, they can visit more.
Tusk was really good, man, and Yoga Hosers was really good.
Tusk was terrible.
I saw no.
Oh, I hated it.
Wait. What did you like about it? What is the movie part of it?
He's like,
it was
slow.
It's a very strange movie.
Senseless.
It is. Nothing. It just did nothing for me. It's like I saw it. Other than what's his face looks like in that weird walrus costume.
Justin Long, yeah.
The rest of it is I don't.
Tusk
but then
and
again, I'm
Yoga
not
Hosers?
a Kevin Smith. Other than all his movies, I don't really. You never
like Dogma. You ever watch Dogma?
And I've watched them, but
you're just they're hit and miss for you.
Tusk was for the fans.
Yeah.
It was created off a podcast.
Yeah, he just riffed the idea on a podcast.
I hate podcasts too.
Yeah, fuck podcasts, dude.
He really doesn't like podcasts.
Literally, other than this podcast, sorry, other podcasters.
Zach wants to fight you.
Yeah.
Every other podcast.
I watch Rogan, and that's it. And I don't consider that a podcast.
Hey,
I watch more of those
hey, Kyle.
clips online. Yeah, bro.
I want to watch Tusk here with you.
Yeah.
No interruptions, no phone.
It's
you
on.
don't like,
I think it's on Netflix.
You do not like horror movies.
Yeah,
and it's not that it's a complete horror movie.
But that's most of the reason I haven't watched that. And then Yoga Hosers, I was.
Well, Yoga Hosers and Tusk, I feel like are like his homage to B movies. I know it came from a podcast, but it's like 80s B movie.
In Canada, right?
In Canada, yeah. It's those are the Canadian
that's his True North
series.
trilogy.
Yeah, True North. There you go.
What do you call it? I saw Yoga Hosers when it first debuted. At the. He did a live Q&A.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
Kevin Smith.
You were at the live Q&A.
Yeah. And Ming Chen came out in a Bratzi suit.
Okay.
And it was actually pretty funny because he like came out and like no one really gave a shit at all. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, it's Ming Chen or whatever.
Who's Ming Chen?
Yeah,
from Comic Book Men.
The
Chinese dude from Comic Book Men.
There we go.
That they're always picking on.
Yeah, not Walt Flanagan.
Yeah. And what do you call it? So he like walked back off the stage and everything like that. And Kevin Smith comes out on stage and he's like, wow, that was awesome, guys. He's like, I really love your honesty. He's like, it's so great. He's like, but this is fucking television. He's like, so when we shoot again, he's gonna come back out again. He's like, I need you guys to go fucking nuts, right? So like Ming Chen comes out again, they reshoot, and everyone's like, woo! It's like out of their seats, like fucking cheesing out. But originally, no one gave a shit. Yeah. No one gave a fuck. And but no, overall, that shit was great. I'd love going to Q&A movies with the directors and shit. Like, oh.
That is something I've never gotten much. I did that when I lived in LA. I got to see Saw and the entire time in line. The entire time in line, I kept making. We get to see Saw jokes. Seesaw. I see Saw. I saw Seed. Well, I don't know what that means. But we got to see that, and then James Wan and Adam, whatever the fuck is the guy that played Adam or whatever in the first Saw movie, it was also the writer. And
you're talking about the dude from
yeah.
He directed Upgrade.
No, that was the Asian guy. The Asian.
No, James Wan.
James Wan. What's the other guy?
Lei Whannell.
Wait, he's directing now too?
He's been directing.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
What do you call it? He directed I'm pretty sure he directed.
I thought he was half the duo that dropped off.
He was half the duo that directed the first Saw. He directed Upgrade.
Yeah.
If I'm not no, Darren Lynn Bousman did Repo Genetic Opera, which is
But I got to see that as a Q&A, and that was like one of the coolest things ever. And then I got to see one of my heroes, one of my disgraced heroes, and I'm glad I got to see him back in the day. I got to see Kevin Spacey after Beyond the Sea.
He'll be back eventually.
Yeah. Louis C.K. came back this week.
I saw that.
People
are so mad.
I know.
He made a rape joke on
his set.
Fuck it. You're at the bottom. Just do whatever you want.
He's gotta come back. Who knows what's gonna happen?
He's back.
Never not love
He's back.
Oh,
dude, Pootie-Tang's the best.
Pootie-Tang the one that touched
All
shit.
Sarate.
How about this? Last question. What is the best bad movie to you?
Best bad,
like a movie that everybody.
Troll 2.
Justin and I had a conversation earlier. Troll 2 didn't come up, but that's good.
Troll 2 is amazing.
Troll 2 is so fucking terribly amazing.
Who has my Blu-ray of that?
Shane, you sent it to Shane.
Shane sent it to me.
Oh, he sent it to you.
I'm gonna go with.
Then you let somebody borrow that. Chris, maybe.
Either Return of the Living Dead 1 or 2.
Okay.
Right, yeah,
okay.
I'll
they're
go with
so
that
bad that they're great. You know what I mean?
Land
Like,
of
and
the
I'm usually
Dead?
not into that stuff too. Usually I'm not one of those people that it's so bad it's good. Like usually if it's so bad it's just terrible.
Justin and I earlier had a conversation about a movie that is so bad it's good. It's been featured on like podcasts that talk about like How Did This Get Made talked about it. Mac and Me.
Oh, yeah.
Mac and Me is one of my favorite movies from my childhood. That I didn't know how bad it was.
That was an angry video game.
Yes,
Paul Rudd, and that's why I said to Justin, he didn't know that Paul Rudd brings a Mac and Me clip to every single time he shows up on Conan to show like Ant-Man. He plays a Mac and Me clip. It's the same clip. It's the kid falling down a hill in a wheelchair and falling into the water in a wheelchair. And then there's a scene in that movie where the kid does get shot in the wheelchair. He gets shot and dies. They kill a wheelchair kid in the middle of this or the end of this movie.
It's a McDonald's movie.
The 90s was a crazy place.
They produced the movie.
Isn't there
McDonald's
like a really
Coca-Cola.
the Asian kid? Isn't that like really racist?
Probably.
His name was...
No less racist than Goonies.
Yeah. Oh.
Damn. Son.
No, it's more racist than Goonies.
Data was pretty racist. It was pretty racist. Justin, what did you say your favorite?
I mean, I said Troll 2.
Troll 2.
There's a lot of like bad movies that are like.
Anything right off the top of your head that you think that like is one that you watch?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I haven't watched it in a long time, but that's a great bad movie, man.
You know what?
Rich, anything that you can think of?
Gotta be like one of the later Leprechaun movies.
Oh,
Leprechaun like in space?
In the Hood.
Leprechaun in space.
Yeah.
Back to the Hood.
Dude.
No, probably the worst one's probably Leprechaun Oranges. Or Oranges.
Oranges?
Leprechaun Oranges.
It's Leprechaun in the Oranges, New Jersey.
That would be three.
There are 2 Hood movies.
Back to the Hood is the second one.
The sequel,
Back to the Hood and Back to the Hood.
Back to the Hood again.
Back to the Hood 4 minus 1. The Oranges.
Oh.
Zach, what's your
People
favorite?
keep telling me. I always thought this was an amazing movie. I didn't think it was a good
I know
bad
what you're
movie.
gonna say, but I
people
agree.
keep telling me that it's terrible.
What?
Face Off.
Face
Oh
Off?
no, that movie's great.
Face Off's amazing. I think
my name is Gangster Troy.
People keep telling me that it's like such a terrible movie. I'm like, I love Face Off.
Scientifically, it's the dumbest thing ever. And acting-wise, they are both the most over-the-top people ever. But that's what I want in a 90s...
John Woo, I mean, it's the same style as Con Air, dude.
The doves. There are so many doves in that movie.
Did you notice the doves in Mission Impossible 2?
Yes, exactly. I'm riding a motorcycle, then jumping off the motorcycle. Why are the doves right here?
Tom Cruise running down like these catacombs. How are doves down there?
Yeah.
Like, how are they down there? But he's just running and they're just everywhere.
For a second, I thought you said Howard Doves down there.
Howard the Duck
is a good, terrible movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Howard Dove's down there.
Howard Dove. I like Howard Dove.
Howard the Duck is a terrible,
it's a softer
great
version
movie.
of Howard the Duck. There's less bestiality involved in that one. Oh shit! All right, well, hey, we're gonna bring this to a wraps here, and I want to first thank everybody for tuning in, everybody that tuned in live, and then obviously our guest this evening, Mr. Michael Martino. Thank you so much, brother.
Hey, you guys should also play Fortnite.
Oh yeah, play Fortnite.
Welcome to Fortnite.
All right, Richard Blackmore has also been here. Thank you very much for joining us today, Richard. Yeah. I want to give a shout out as always to Moot.tv, Eric, and all of him that does all of the work to put us out there on iTunes and Stitcher. We are available now, the first 14 episodes. New episodes coming to you soon. Also, check out Let Me Ask You a Question from Moot.tv, featuring Mr. Anthony DeAngelis, Eric Degoski, and Mr. Gregaman. Every week, Anthony throws out a bizarre, weird-ass question, and they all have to answer it.
Have they still not gotten back to...
They haven't. He said he started to listen in through the episodes that we haven't put out yet.
I mean, I feel like it's a rough question. I think I already know the answer.
I forget, what was the question? What was it?
It was if you were going to the park with your Game Boy Advance
to
pick up children,
game?
what game would you be
let's
playing?
See if you guys, Mikey and Rich, what game, if you got the, that Nintendo, what is it, not...
I mean, Switch? I guess it could be Switch now.
Whatever, that
Game
you
Boy
connects to another player.
Or you can find
remotely.
friends.
What game do you use?
DS.
What game do you use to pick up
Street
a young
Pass.
child in a park? Do you want to answer that question right now? I don't think you want to answer that question right now.
It has to be Pokemon, doesn't
it's got to be Pokemon.
Disney just fired me.
Disney
just fired me
from all previous and future employment.
I mean, there's only one acceptable answer.
You're not allowed
here.
to watch Aladdin anymore. That's not bad.
Nintendogs?
Get the fuck out of here.
All
10
right.
dogs, right?
No.
Also,
There's only one acceptable
Also, check
answer.
out White Wasabi from Mood.tv. They talk about some anime on there. You might
But
like
you
that.
wouldn't be going
Every
to a
couple of
park to
months they
pick
talk
up
about
children.
anime.
That's
And
the only acceptable answer.
our good friend Sean Arajo's got his wonderful
Just
podcast,
saying.
Not Movies. Thank you to Mr. Andy Moose for the music this week. And as
Please
always, a big thank you to Mr. Justin Olimpedo
Hey.
and Mr. Zachary.
Hey.
Fuck off, Stormin. Mr. Zachary, fuck off, Stormin.
Fuck Fortnite.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. We've got our wonderful closing theme song to play you out.
Yeah.
To play you out?
Play you out.
To play us out?
Play
What
us
does that
out?
mean?
I don't know this.
Put a
Fucking
nickel
thing's broken.
Put a nickel in your
Fucking
ass.
thing's
You played
broken.
yourself.
Fucking
We'll
thing.
do it live.
Fucking thing sucks.
Mood.tv.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your